In life, few things are as painful and as confusing as having to walk away from something or someone you once prayed for. Whether it's a relationship, a dream, or a situation that once brought joy, letting go feels like surrendering a piece of your soul. But what if that heartbreak is not a dead end, but a divine redirection? In today's video, we're diving into a deeply emotional yet spiritually uplifting topic, the power of walking away, and how doing so can be one of the strongest acts of faith you'll ever make. Because in Islam, walking away doesn't mean you've given up. It means you've chosen to trust Allah's plan over your own pain. In this life, you will come across moments when your heart feels heavy. You will find yourself in situations where your mind is filled with questions, your soul feels unsettled, and your peace disappears slowly without you even noticing. And in those moments, many people try to push through, thinking that patience means to stay in pain. But Islam teaches something much deeper, that your peace is a blessing, and guarding that peace is part of guarding your faith. Peace is not just something we wish for. Peace is something we are supposed to protect. The name of our religion itself, Islam, is connected to the word salam, which means peace. When you start losing your calm, your kindness, your focus in prayer, and your closeness to Allah, it's a sign that something around you is not good for your soul. And when that happens, you must pause and protect yourself, not with anger, but with wisdom. Allah has given your soul a special light. That light is sensitive. It reacts when something harmful comes near. If you're around a person or in a place that constantly makes you feel uncomfortable, anxious, or broken, it is not a sin to walk away. In fact, it may be one of the best things you can do for your soul. Islam never asks you to stay in places where your faith is falling, your smile is fading, and your heart feels distant from its creator. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to take one step back, but that step might be the beginning of your healing. Many people stay in friendships, relationships, jobs, or groups that damage their peace every single day. They wake up tired, not just in body but in spirit. They no longer laugh like they used to. They no longer enjoy the little things. And worst of all, they begin to accept that this stress, this chaos, this noise is normal, but it's not. The truth is, you were not made to live in confusion. You were not created to live in constant pain and pressure. You were created for worship, for purpose, for kindness, and for joy. Your soul was made to recognize beauty. When you are surrounded by peace, you feel your connection with Allah more clearly. Your prayers feel alive. Your du'as are full of tears. Your heart feels clean. That is the environment Islam wants you to live in, one that protects your heart and honors your feelings. When you feel yourself becoming someone you don't even recognize, someone quiet, stressed, or constantly worried, that's a sign to step away. And stepping away is not weakness. It is not pride. It is protection. It is honoring the soul that Allah gave you, and that is one of the most respectful things you can do. In Islam, protecting your soul and your sanity is a form of gratitude. When you walk away from confusion, you are not running away from life. You are walking towards peace. You are choosing to believe that Allah has something better. You don't need to answer every insult or stay where your value is not seen. The better path is to protect your soul, wish peace upon others, and quietly walk away. That is not weakness. That is strength guided by faith. Your time is valuable. Your heart is precious. Your peace is a gift. Don't hand it over to situations that take it away. Respect yourself enough to understand when it's time to leave, and know that Allah will bless every step you take that leads you toward a better, more peaceful place. Sometimes you have to let go of the noise outside to hear the voice of your soul again. And in that quiet, you will find Allah waiting for you. There are times in life when everything feels uncertain. You stand between two decisions. Your heart feels heavy. Your mind is tired from overthinking. You try to pray, but your thoughts are loud. You try to sleep, but your soul is restless. That feeling of being stuck in the middle, not knowing which way to go, is called confusion. And Islam teaches us that confusion, doubt, and fear of the unknown do not come from Allah. Allah is the most merciful. He is the guide. He is the one who brings hearts to rest. He never wants your soul to live in stress and pain. Confusion comes from the world, from people, from pressure, from whispers of shaitan, but never from Allah. When a path is from Him, it brings calmness to your chest, even when it's difficult. It gives you light in your heart. It may still be hard, but it feels right. So if something is constantly making you question yourself, feel not good enough, or makes you unsure about your worth, then it is not from Allah. Islam is a religion of clarity. The Quran is a book of light, not darkness. It helps you see, not stay in blindness. When you find yourself in a situation that keeps you doubting your value or your purpose, it is time to take a deep breath and step away. Too often, people confuse patience with punishment. They think staying in something that constantly breaks them is a test they have to keep accepting. But not all pain is a test. Some pain is a sign to pause, reflect, and walk in a different direction. Sometimes your confusion is a message from your soul, telling you, this is not good for you, this is not helping you grow. When you keep chasing something that makes you feel lost every day, you are not walking in the light of faith. You are walking in the shadow of fear, and that's not where you belong. Allah wants better for you. He wants you to live with strength in your heart and peace in your steps. Every single time a believer is faced with doubt, they are told to return to Allah, to seek clarity through salah, to find answers through the Quran, and to feel peace through dua. That's the beauty of Islam. It doesn't leave you in confusion. It opens the doors of wisdom. It shows you signs. It guides your heart. If you ask, Allah will surely guide. So when something keeps making you overthink, when you feel stuck in a cycle of questions that never end, ask yourself, is this from Allah? Or am I forcing something that's not meant for me? If it keeps breaking your confidence, damaging your peace, and lowering your faith, it's okay to step back. That is not weakness, that is wisdom. Shaitan loves confusion. He whispers doubt into your heart so that you stop moving forward. He makes you fear that walking away is failure. Your fear with faith. Your confusion with direction. Your pain with healing. But you have to take that first step, the step of trusting Him more than you trust your fears. Let go of what keeps you in the dark. Let go of the need to have all the answers right now. Let go of the thought that staying stuck is somehow safer. Walk away from the things that keep you guessing and walk toward the one who knows everything, Allah. In His presence you will find answers. In His words you will find answers. In His words you will find clarity. In His light you will find peace that never leaves. There comes a point in every soul's journey when you realize that something you're holding on to, whether it's a person, a place, a habit, or a feeling, is slowly taking you further away from who you really are. You no longer smile the same. You don't sleep peacefully. Your prayers feel empty. Your heart is always tired. And deep inside, a small voice keeps whispering, you are losing yourself. That is not a sign to try harder. That is a sign to let go. Islam does not ask you to break yourself into pieces to fit into someone else's story. You were never created to suffer endlessly just to prove your loyalty. You were created with purpose, with dignity, with value. And if anything in your life is crushing that, then it is not from Allah. When you begin to lose your identity, your peace, your connection to the Quran, or your excitement for life, that is not strength. That is silent destruction. Too many people stay in things that destroy them quietly. They stay in toxic relationships, confusing friendships, or draining environments out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of disappointing others, fear of the unknown. But Islam teaches courage. It teaches you to save your soul before it's too late. It teaches you to walk away when something starts damaging your faith. Because the moment you start losing your sense of who you are, your values, your dreams, your love for Allah, you are also losing your light. And no one is worth that. So many believers forget themselves while trying to save others. They pour from an empty cup. They give their energy, their love, their time, their worship, and receive only pain in return. And slowly, they start fading. Their worship weakens. Their heart becomes numb. Their faith becomes a burden instead of a comfort. That's not what Allah wants for you. He wants you to live a life where you wake up with purpose, where your heart feels alive, where you look in the mirror and recognize the person staring back. If someone or something is making you hate who you're becoming, then it's time to choose yourself, not in pride, but in protection. Letting go is not giving up. It's holding on to your soul. It's saying, I can no longer allow this to break me. I want to return to who I was, before the confusion, before the hurt, before I lost my way. And when you let go for the sake of Allah, He replaces what you left behind with something better. He gives you strength. He brings back your smile. He heals what you thought would never be whole again. You were never created to live in sadness. You were created to worship, to feel peace, to find love that brings you closer to Allah. If something is stopping that, it's time to walk away. Even if it hurts, even if it means starting over, even if it means being alone for a while. Because being alone and at peace is far better than being surrounded and in pain. The world may not understand. People may judge your decision, but your heart will thank you. Your soul will breathe again, and your Imaan will rise. There is no shame in choosing yourself when you are falling apart. There is no sin in stepping away from what harms your spirit. There is only mercy, the mercy of Allah, who always sees what you're going through. He knows what you've sacrificed, and He will never leave you empty. So if you are in something that is costing you your health, your focus, your relationship with your Lord, let go. Take a deep breath and walk away. Not in anger, not in hate, but in peace. Love is one of the most powerful emotions in the human heart. It can build you or break you. It can make you feel alive or leave you completely empty. In today's world, love is often misunderstood. People chase feelings without understanding the meaning behind them. They confuse attention with care and drama with passion. But Islam gives us a clear understanding of what love really means. And the truth is simple. Real love in Islam is never confusing. Real love does not make you cry every night. Real love does not make you doubt your worth. It does not give you mixed signals or make you question if you are good enough. Real love in Islam brings peace. It brings you closer to Allah. It helps you grow, not shrink. It makes your heart feel calm, not restless. When love is real, it doesn't hurt your soul, it heals it. Allah has taught us about love in a beautiful way. Love that does not contain kindness and mercy is not real love, it's just attachment. An attachment without purpose often leads to heartbreak. So if you find yourself in a relationship or connection that constantly leaves you feeling drained, unsure, or broken, it is time to step back and ask yourself, is this the love that Islam teaches me to accept? You were not created to be half-loved. You were not created to be someone's second choice. You were not created to be stuck in circles of confusion. Islam values your heart too much for that. Allah values you too much for that. When someone truly loves you in the way Islam teaches, they will not make you guess how they feel. They will not leave you in silence, hoping you'll just accept pain as love. They will honor you. They will speak to you with respect. They will care about your Imaan. They will encourage you to pray, to learn, to grow. Real love pushes you closer to Allah, not away from Him. Sometimes, people think they are being patient by staying in painful relationships. They think, maybe one day this person will change. Maybe if I try harder, they'll treat me better. But that's not love. That's fear wearing a mask. Love doesn't ask you to lose your self-worth. It doesn't ask you to tolerate disrespect just to feel needed. You can love someone and still walk away from them if staying with them means losing yourself. You can forgive someone and still choose not to return if returning means more confusion. Islam gives you the right to protect your peace. You don't owe anyone your soul. That belongs to Allah alone. Real love isn't loud. It doesn't always come with flowers or sweet words. Sometimes, real love is found in someone who quietly makes dua for you, who gently reminds you to pray, who holds your hand during hard times and says, let's ask Allah together. That is the love worth waiting for. That is the love Islam celebrates. So if you are in a situation that leaves you emotionally empty, spiritually drained, or constantly confused, know that this is not what Allah wants for you. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to wait for a love that brings light into your life. You deserve clarity. You deserve consistency. You deserve a love that makes you feel safe, not scared. A love that grows with you, learns with you, and walks beside you towards Jannah. And when you decide to walk away from false love, trust that Allah will replace it. He will not leave your heart broken forever. He sees your pain. He knows your efforts. He knows the nights you cried and the times you stayed silent when your heart was screaming. He will send someone better, someone who loves you for his sake, someone who values you the way he created you, with honor, with beauty, and with purpose. Every single person is created with a purpose. You are not here by accident. You are not just another name in a crowd. Allah made you for a reason. He placed you on this earth with unique strengths, special qualities, and a journey that only you can walk. But when your heart is filled with confusion, that purpose starts to fade away. You begin to forget why you were created. You start to live in circles, stuck in the same pain, the same questions, the same delays. That's the danger of confusion. It takes you away from your real mission in life. Confusion is like a fog. It blocks your vision. You might still be moving, but you're not going anywhere meaningful. You spend hours, days, even years thinking about things that are not helping your growth. You hold on to people who make you question yourself. You stay in environments that make you feel lost. And slowly, without even realizing it, your soul becomes tired, your goals become blurry, and your dreams become small. Allah gave every human being a special role. Some are meant to teach, some are meant to lead, some are meant to heal others through words, kindness, or guidance. But when you allow confusion to fill your heart, you can no longer hear what your purpose is. You become distracted. You start comparing your life to others. You begin chasing things that were never written for you, and you ignore the quiet calling from inside your heart. That calling is from Allah. He placed it deep inside you, the desire to do something meaningful, that spark that pushes you to be better, to give more, to rise higher. But confusion puts out that flame. It tells you you're not good enough. It makes you delay your dreams. It whispers, "What's the point?" And in that way, it keeps you far from your potential. It may be a habit that keeps wasting your time. It may be a fear that stops you from taking the first step. Whatever it is, you have the power to say, "No more." Confusion makes you forget this. It keeps your eyes on the world, on people, on problems, instead of lifting your heart to the one who gave you life. Some people think they have time. They say, "I'll focus later. I'll change later. I'll find my purpose after I fix this or after I fix that." But life is short. Time does not wait. And the longer you stay in confusion, the longer your soul stays silent. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for everything to be clear. Take the first step now, even if it's small. Maybe that means walking away from something that no longer serves your growth. Maybe it means being honest with yourself about where your life is going. Maybe it means asking Allah, with tears in your eyes, "Guide me, show me what I was made for," and trust that He will. Allah never ignores a sincere heart. He wants you to succeed. He wants you to rise. He wants you to feel the joy of living a life filled with meaning and light. But you can't do that while carrying confusion. Let it go. Choose direction. Choose clarity. Choose to believe that your life has value and that your soul was made for more than just surviving. Your purpose is waiting for you, but you have to be brave enough to step out of the fog and walk into the light of guidance. That's where your peace is. That's where your strength is. And most of all, that's where you will find Allah, waiting to show you what your heart was always meant to do. When we care about someone or something deeply, letting go feels like failure. It feels like giving up. We think, maybe if I try harder, maybe this time it'll change. Maybe Allah wants me to keep waiting. But what if Allah is asking you to walk away? What if letting go is His way of protecting you, not punishing you? We often forget that walking away can be an act of strength, not weakness. It means you're trusting something bigger than your emotions. It means you're letting go of your own limited understanding and submitting to the wisdom of the one who sees what you cannot. When He takes someone or something away, He's not being harsh. He's being merciful. You just may not see it right away. That's why it takes faith. Faith is believing there's something better ahead, even if you're walking away with tears in your eyes. It's trusting that Allah will never leave you empty, that the space you're creating by walking away will be filled with something far more beautiful, peace, purpose, healing, and maybe even joy you never knew was possible. But walking away isn't easy. It requires surrender. It means quieting the ego, silencing the fear, and saying to your heart, "I choose Allah over this." That relationship, if it's pulling you away from Allah, let it go. That friendship, If it's draining your soul, walk away. That dream, if Allah is closing the doors again and again, maybe it's time to say, Ya Allah, I trust your plan more than my own. And the truth is, when you walk away for the sake of Allah, you never truly lose. You may be walking away from someone you love deeply. You may feel like your heart is breaking, but Allah knows what you don't. Maybe that love was blinding you from your purpose. Maybe it was delaying your healing. Maybe it was testing your loyalty to your Lord. Walking away is not weakness, it's strength of the soul. It means you are not letting your emotions control your destiny. It means you are placing your life in Allah's hands and saying, you lead, I'll follow. Some people stay in confusion, pain, or toxic situations because they're afraid of the unknown. They think, what if I never find better? But the believer says, if I give up something for Allah, He will give me better than I ever imagined. Don't underestimate what Allah can do for you after you let go. He can heal your heart overnight. He can replace your pain with peace. He can bring someone into your life who reminds you of Him every day. He can open a door so beautiful that you forget why you cried so hard over the one that closed. But first, you have to trust Him. Walking away doesn't mean you failed. It means you listened to your heart when it whispered, this isn't what Allah wants for you. It means you had the courage to say, even though I'm scared, even though I'm hurting, I trust your plan, Ya Rab. And Allah never lets down those who trust Him. So if you're at a crossroads right now, if you're struggling to let go, take a deep breath and say, Ya Allah, guide me to what is best for me. Give me strength to walk away from what you know is not good for me, and replace it with something that brings me closer to you. Because when you walk away for the sake of Allah, you're not really walking away, you're walking toward Him. Sometimes the strongest thing you can ever do is to simply walk away, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. Not because you stopped caring, but because you started respecting yourself the way Allah wants you to. When you walk away from confusion, from pain, from what no longer serves your soul, you are not lost. You are actually one step closer to who Allah always meant for you to be. This is not the end. This is a new beginning, wrapped in the mercy and wisdom of your Lord.